The digital divide. So you may be wondering, what even is the digital divide? And to fully understand what the digital divide is, we must first understand what the internet is. So the internet is a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected networks using standardized communication protocols. And the digital divide is the gap between people who have access to modern technology, such as the internet, and those who don't. Now, three main causes of the digital divide would be low income, geographical restrictions, lack of motivation to use technology. So low income would mean, people who just can't afford broadband internet because ISPs or internet service providers just make their prices too high and that just simply doesn't fit in their budget. Examples of geographical restrictions would be Native Americans who live on tribal lands and internet service providers just don't haven't like they just haven't expanded into their regions with cell towers or fiber optic cables. And finally, lack of motivation to use technology means it's basically old people such as this guy over here who just they'd rather read a good book and aren't very technologically literate. And one one huge effect of the digital divide would be lower education quality of students who just don't have access to internet. For example, like say I'm studying for a big test, right? And I just can't understand one math problem. I just can't figure it out. And students who don't have access to internet can't just look up the answers. And if their parents don't know and can't help them either, how are they going to find out the answers to the question that they, need? But if I had access to the internet, I'd be able to go on YouTube, look it up, and I'd be completely fine. Or I could ask my friends with my phone. Another effect would be isolation from the rest of the world. So if you don't have internet, you just can't communicate with everyone else. Like, say I want to talk to family members from across the country, I just simply can't. And that gap would just increase with the digital divide would just increase. So my solution to the digital divide would be to increase the amount of cell towers and build more fiber optic cables. My other solution would be to teach more people about technology, like teach more old people about how to use technology. And also, both of these two combined would be able to decrease the isolation people have from each other. And finally, uh, decreasing the price of broadband internet. This is very important because decreasing the price of broadband internet uh, would greatly benefit those of low income households and would just make it so much more affordable. So the effects of my policy would be to would or not would be increased access to education and communication, again equaling less isolation, and also higher property values, increased job and population growth, higher rates of new business formation, and lower unemployment rates. And also, in general, it is very important for us to minimize the digital divide because it is the root of many